Water.
In a black place with water, okay. And can you look at yourself?
Yeah,
How old are you? What are you wearing?
I'm naked.
Okay. All right. Are you walking, sitting, or standing?
I'm walking inside of this black water.
Okay, you're walking inside of black water. All right.
And I'm really scared.
You're scared. Okay. All right. Now that you're absolutely safe and protected, go ahead and see what you see around you. What else is in the black water?
Beings.
What are the beings? Do you know what they are? Have you seen them before?
No, I've never seen them before. But they're basically monsters.
Oh, they're monsters. Okay. They're knowing completely that you have the ability to be bilocate and be in a multidimensional state that you would be invisible to them. You can do that, and you can only have you see them, but they can't see you. All right. Now, what kind of monsters are they? Are they from your imagination? From
They are reptilians, but they are like
the reptilians?
they are reptilian, but they have long tails and horrible faces.
Yes. Okay. All right.
Just
Just remember you're just viewing this from a distance now, okay? Okay, so why are you in there, that dark, murky water with them? What is happening? Why are you there?
they're observing me and they're taking something from me.
Okay,
They are using my mind to bring some information or to see something.
okay, they're interfacing with your mind to read it. Is that it? You get information.
Yes, they are. They're
Okay.
using my mind to look at some event.
What event is that? Now connecting with your higher self all along, knowing that your higher self is there with you, give you all information, knowing, complete knowingness. What event are they talking about?
It has to do with the government. It has to do with a black round object that is supposed to be some kind of a radar of some sort or some kind of a technology, a round technology.
Is it on Earth or off Earth?
It's on Earth.
On Earth? And what kind of technology is this? What does it do?
I see a bunch of military people around with these dark red berets.
Okay.
Dark red berets. And they're wearing these brown and red with gold belt suits. I've never seen them before. But there's at least 15 of them around this black round object, and it's being taken in on wheels. They can't touch it. It just moves automatically through something.
Okay.
And it's being put into some kind of a cave area.
All knowing, all seeing. Where is this cave area? On
It
Earth?
seems to be near water. It seems to be near water.
Okay.
On sand, like near sand, near water.
Okay.
They're pushing it inside of a cave.
Okay. And what is the purpose of this round, technical looking object?
It reads the resonance of the planet Earth. It reads the vibration in a current area.
Okay.
And as it's put in like certain specific areas, it basically picks up on the largest vibration in that area and it multiplies it. So it's almost like a mirror type of an object.
So then you believe it's causing a particular frequency and vibration in the area that it's in?
Basically, it works off resonance, so it'll pick up on the energy that's in a certain place and it'll mirror it and expand it like 50 blocks around that area, like a giant space around that area.
And so then it would not transport, but it would send out that energy to a 50 block
It
area?
magnifies.
Okay.
Yes, it magnifies whatever energies is at that moment.
Is this is Earth, as we know Earth?
This is Earth.
Okay. And
They are using these disks in different parts of the planet in large stadiums, concert halls, places where people gather.
so are they us picking up the frequencies and the energy from the people and then transmitting it out to others?
Yes.
Okay.
And the
So if,
purpose of that is to create a network. So basically what they do with this is they place it in different parts of the world in different events. For example, in Palestine, where there's a lot of suffering. So this emotion that is being put out here is magnified and communicated and connected to the other black discs in other areas of the planet. And so that's how this emotion is transferred from one area to another.
what is the ultimate reason that they're doing this, and what do they call this experience?
The point is to create large masses of fear and feelings of helplessness.
Okay.
And this is the event that they're talking about.
I see. Regarding this event,
So
what is we as enlightened, high and spiritual and powerful beings that are working in this movement together, what is it that we can do to counteract this event that they're planning? And what do we need? What are the steps we need to do to take so that it doesn't affect us?
This kind of technology is quickly being placed all around the planet. And it's creating a network. If you look at the planet Earth right now, it looks like a honeycomb, connected by all this information, connected by all of this exact same vibration of fear. And what's happening is that the timeline that we are in right now, me and you, is a timeline that's overlapping with several other dimensional timelines.
Okay.
And what it does is that each person that is going into this certain panic mode or fear, it's magnifying that and because it magnifies that emotion during that time, it 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 creates this vibrational resonance. And people are going in and out of dimensions. People that are connecting spiritually are often more open to receiving these kinds of vibrations because they can feel more. They're awakening.
Mm-hmm.
So as they are feeling these emotions and moving interdimensionally within their own journey, it's creating these networks of traveling this emotion and this vibration through dimensions. So when people are confused, when people feel that they are disconnected, they are going in and out of certain dimensions. Every moment they feel connected, they are in one dimension. Every time they feel disconnected, it's because they are in another dimension and picking up the information from that pertinent dimension.
Mm.
So people are going back and forth, waving through these different timelines. And that's why there's so much confusion right now. And ultimately, the way that the planet Earth looks right now is like a honeycomb of vibrations. Different areas are transferring this vibration from one center to the other, to the other, to the other. And these plates of black energy is basically what you call goo. It's basically like a nanotechnology that magnifies and reads resonance and vibration at any given time. So people are in constant fear right now, picking up on these informations. And through their fear is what causes a very stable life force for this particular race that is there watching. This has been happening many years.
Okay.
The only thing that we can do in this particular time, coming back into this present moment, is each person that is a light worker to really forcefully pull themselves out of any confusion and disconnect and go within, connect directly to source, because that consciousness has to be pure and unscathed by this low vibration that is being thrown around the universe right now, because it's not just happening on our planet. The same way that that honeycomb network is occurring on this planet, it's happening in the universe in that same fashion, in that same trajectory of energy.
Okay. What does Source say about this event and why it's happening?
The planet Earth is affected almost as if with a virus. The virus is the loss of consciousness, the loss of connection to its source.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, the way that we are transforming and urgently trying to connect to source, the same way the duality is mirroring that force. They are mirroring Earth is waking up, but not as fast as it needs to be. And right now we're coming into a very, very difficult moment because of the confusion that is occurring.
Mm-hmm.
And people that are waking up with so much effort and time and work are being segued into these timeline shifts where they come into confusion. And this loss of source connection is very easily happening right now with everyone. So unfortunately, it is necessary to focus on that source connection and leave the illusion of the matrix on such a deep level that we somehow merge our lives with the source and live through those eyes of source fully.
Mm.
The earth is working hard to wake up, but in the same way, the opposition, the duality is working even harder. People that are waking up with this information come with some aspects of truth, but it's important to connect all the dots, and people need to fearlessly tackle that work of connecting the dots. It's a lot of work. It's research and it's connection with the self. It's internal research.
Okay.
All the information that anyone ever needs is through the connection to source.
Mm-hmm. So is that the way for people to be able to stay out of the energies that the event, that this instrument or this weapon that they're using against us? How can we help others to stay out of that event so they do not become part of it?
The first way to help and to raise the vibration of the planet is to help yourself. You cannot escape the work and the darkness that is within you. And the first thing that causes us to feel separated from everything around us is that deep seed of fear that resides in us. That fear is manipulated through all our surroundings and everything around us. It is important to focus on strengthening our inner knowing and our inner connection. It is important to strengthen that divine integration of the three aspects of the multidimensional body. When we talk about waking up, we cannot talk about waking up the way we used to talk about it 10 years ago. Waking up now means a whole different story. It means really opening your eyes and trusting the information that comes in from source to each person.
Mm-hmm.
Each person will receive different levels of knowledge and information, but they receive that information so that they can embody it and own that information fully. Once they have integrated the information, once they are able to live at those vibrations, then assist those around to raise that vibration through that knowing. It is just a matter of tapping into that vibration of unconditional love. We have a certain fear within us that resides within the body, and that fear is magnified by the technology that surrounds us every moment of our days. From the moment we wake up to the moment we sleep, the technology around us assists us in magnifying fear through our actions, our thoughts, and things that we think, feel, and do, eat. In order to transcend transcend that kind of a manipulation from the things around us. It is necessary to connect only to source at every moment, allowing you to transcend the illusion of all the things occurring around you. The illusion around us has many different levels. The first one is the immediate illusion of your life and your story, of your immediate illusion. The second is that which everything around you is trying to pull you away from yourself. Television, media, your cell phone, computers. The illusion of community, the illusion of connection with other people is also a way that the dark side is using to manipulate people to leave their own inner connection. It is important that now more than ever, people really focus on that inner connection with themselves, disconnecting from all kinds of distractions that pull them away from embracing that wholeness and that light. Each person right now is resonating at the fear base, which is the lowest vibration of spirituality. They are afraid of the technology itself. They are afraid of health issues. They are afraid of the government. They are afraid of, even within the spiritual community, all of the things that they talk about that will be occurring. All of that is fear-based conduits of fear. And we must kill them at the root. We must eliminate all distraction. The only thing that matters in this moment more than ever is the connection to source and nothing else.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Is there anything else that Source wants us to know about this question here?
These black discs that are being put out are happening on a larger scale, but the nanotechnology and the energy, which is basically like it's a mirror, it magnifies energy like a crystal. That's basically what it is. Unfortunately, the levels of resonance that these crystals pick up are low vibrations. And these crystals are nanotechnology and artificial intelligence that is a part of these races, of these reptilian races. These reptilian races are made like hybrids, half of which their bodies and all that they are made up of is of this substance. That's why in order to feed off this fear energy, they require that it becomes magnified and it resonates with their own physical bodies. They feed off the vibration that a planet gives off. So what they're creating in other dimensions now are antennas and mirrors that magnify vibration on a larger scale. That's how humans are manipulated now. Understanding how to manipulate the chakra system and disconnect from the first three chakras that connect you to this resonance through this information that is communicating with different areas of the planet, with different races, with different energies that exist within this creation. So, in order for a human to truly elevate their own vibration, it is the destroying and the replacing of that programming within each person that needs to occur. The cleansing of the DNA is not just a matter of creating a pattern of information. It is replacing those patterns of information with a higher vibration. This higher vibration is new information coming into the planet that is constantly evolving in its own vibration. Each human, as they work and purify their own vibration, opens up space to be able to receive higher levels of vibration. Just the way these hybrids are artificially created to maintain a higher vibration, we ultimately evolve into this higher vibration and meet them through our progression and evolution interdimensionally.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, what again can we do about the manipulation that's going on with the DNA?
Each person needs to work with themselves, disconnecting every day from the matrix. Every day disconnect from the matrix until it becomes a pattern, a new program. It's a very, very deep need that people comprehend that the more that they connect to the matrix, the more they are allowing this resonance to align with their bodies. Disconnecting from the matrix, disconnecting from the illusion of that survival need, whether you are in the corporate world, where that is fictionally created to cause need for survival. Each person is struggling within their own cycle of survival. We must look at our lives, each one, and see where we can break that cycle of survival, of fear, of not being enough, of not being able to feed our families. The construct of government, the construct of the financial structure around us, of education, must be broken down, must be eliminated. Little by little, we are going through an evolution where we are pulling away from these constructs of separation. The matrix illusion has to be, in a way, destroyed slowly by pulling away our contribution to the matrix, to its growth.
In what way, by the contribution, you mean?
Financial contribution, emotional contribution, energetic contribution.
So,
In every way that we are supporting the matrix, we must look at our lives and figure how we can disconnect
mm-hmm.
in the best way possible to transform the patterns of energy that we are giving off. And the very first way to disconnect from that matrix is through the emotional body. The emotional body is maintained in a constant wave of adrenaline, of chemicals within the body that are manipulated every moment of the day through your activities, through your work, through your connection with people. It is important to maintain these levels of energy that wave through the body in a balanced and neutral state. Neutrality within the body and the mind is the most powerful way and state of being. Becoming elusive to all of the triggers that are provided within the system, within these agendas of information, which are false, fabricated in order to cause these chemical rises within the physical body. They do work multidimensionally, and so each person that resides within this information must evolve and rise above disconnecting from those waves of chemicals within their body. We must learn to maintain and manage the neutrality within the body and the mind.
And what are these chemicals that are in the body?
When a person is feeling afraid or stressed, chemicals that rise within the body create inflammation and stressing within different organs, within different lymphatic systems of the body. All of this produces vibrations within organs, within different aspects of the physical body. And so you become just like that black substance, that nanotechnology. All that these beings are doing is mirroring the organic life forces that we are the technology within our bodies, the ability to magnify stress, fear, and channel that energy through our body is exactly what this black nanotechnology is doing by mirroring that same effect and magnifying the results of that rise in chemical change in the body. Any levels of fear, stress, anxiety, any time where there is these vibrations of hate, separation of the self, to make it simply, all of those energies and vibrations resonate on a very low and heavy wavelength. It is substantial in the 3D, and because it is in a 3D realm, it is a heavy vibration that has the ability to shift its surrounding objects. Everything around you will absorb and resonate with this vibration on a molecular level. Each being that is emitting this vibration needs to understand the chain reaction that occurs every moment the vibration is being emitted from the body. These beings feed off that heavy, substantial vibration. And it's not just on this planet, it's on many different planets.
So the way for Earth and people of Earth to do it, it would be to stay out of any of that negative energy. Is that
Negative triggers.
the negative vibration, keeping only higher frequencies, higher energies?
Yes.
So does that mean that if you're researching or if you're regressing and these energies come up, does that mean that they can feed on them, or does it mean that if someone stays in these energies day in, day out, that they can feed on them? Which way does that work?
When you are in regression, you are just looking through. It's almost as if you are jumping or looking through dimensions.
Mm-hmm.
You are utilizing your mind, connecting to Akashic records that provide a vibration of information. So you are not embodying that vibration in resonance with all your organs as if you were in waking moment, living through an emotional trauma where the mind is locked in to the illusion around it. In waking time, when we are interacting with negative vibrations and triggers around us, we are embodying, and the chemical reaction within the physical body is heightened. It is multiplied. Every cell of the body lives and believes that that is the reality at that moment. We are like crystal, we are like water. Any seed of information, any seed of vibration will transmute itself throughout the entire embodiment of this vessel.
Mm-hmm.
Constantly living through the vibration of fear, anger, or lower vibrations that we know are constantly programming the muscle mass of this body, the molecular level of the body, the sanguineal level of the body. The entire body is resonating on that vibration from your hair down to your toes.
Okay.
When one becomes conscious of this emotional trigger within the body, and they make the conscious choice to eliminate that emotion or to transform that emotion, that is like a command that is being given at that moment. And that command is a powerful shift in vibration that has to occur on the subconscious mind. It has to occur on the deepest level of the being. And the deepest level of the being is reached through comprehension and through understanding. It is important to heal through regression by addressing every one of these traumas that have occurred within the physical body. But each person can function as an active transformational being in order to transform all of those emotions that do not serve them every moment of their day consciously.
Okay. So, would it be a disadvantage for someone to, say, watch TV programs if they DVR them, or watch sports events, or watch any kind of political or movies or anything like that? Would that cause this energy?
Yes, the entire system that revolves us in this moment, like television, movies, all media that is coming in is being very carefully filtered. And this is going to happen even worse. We're coming into a time where, because so many people are waking up, trying to change and spread a higher vibration, the opposition is carefully finding new ways to confuse the population with their own information. As information is being put out, it is taken and distorted and put back into the society for people to absorb. This is where it is important to pull away from any fountain of information that is artificial. Artificial means that it is not received through a source connection. We are coming into a difficult time where this information is creating, magnifying these emotions of confusion. Television, sports, movies are distractions. distractions keeping you away from connecting to your source essence.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to know about this information that Source and your higher self is giving you, or would you like to go on to some other questions? Would you like to know why you have been sick for over a month? What caused this? Geraldine, would you like to know, ask your higher self, why you have been sick for over a month and what caused it?
I'm receiving some information, but
Okay.
I'm trying to go deeper into this information.
Okay.
This virus that has been going around is man-made.
Mm-hmm.
The viruses that are being put out are becoming more complex.
Uh-huh.
They are not just targeting the immune system of the person, but also the subconscious mind. Programming on the very deepest level and over time creating triggers that have programmed each person through their illness. Each person has a different seed of the subconscious mind that starts with the fear. This is used as one tool of mass manipulation and mass destruction. People do not die from the illness, they die from the belief in the illness.
Mm-hmm. Belief that it could kill them. So therefore they manifest that.
It is the belief in the illusion of the illness that resides within the body is now interacting actively with each human. So when a human begins to break away from its overpowering effects, the illness finds a way to mutate through that information, providing information for future viruses that come in real time.
So they can make stronger, powerful ones, more powerful, by using the information that they get.
Yes.
What can we do? What does Source tell us we can do?
The inherent belief in ourselves as creators must be strengthened. It's been weakened and weakened and weakened for many, many centuries. Humans are confused right now. They don't know what they are worthy of or what worth even is. Understanding and having clarity of how the body works and the tool and the technology that resides within the physical body is very important right now. Each person must remember the core essence of their technology in order to heal through these artificial viruses. It is a reprogramming of the subconscious mind that can originate in the youth of a being, in the childhood of a being. This nanotechnology that has been created through viruses learns to interact with each being, pulling information from the past and binding itself to that information as it infests the body. This must be reprogrammed, and everyone must reach the root cause of these illnesses in order to transform and replace that information.
Does everyone have a different root cause, or is it all the same root cause?
They're quite similar root causes based in the fear of death. The fear of death is played upon in many different ways in our dimension. From the careers we choose, the partners we take, the illnesses, the things we eat, are all played upon that fear of elimination. That is the greatest weakness that humans have.
Okay. Is there some physical way that it can strengthen themselves?
Knowing who they are as humans. Humans are infinite soul essences. The body is an illusion that belongs to this matrix illusion. Understanding that and living with that consciousness is important to the evolution of consciousness and to the healing of this planet.
Okay. Anything else about this question that you'd like to add?
Source essence is infinite. And as a part of source essence, you are infinite. Every aspect of yourself, every cell of your body, every fractal, everything you are and everything that makes who you are is infinite. The vibration of your reality, of your existence, of your soul essence is infinite. Everything that belongs to this 3D world perishes. It is important to have that clear separation of that understanding, that you understand that the physical mass is separate from your soul essence. You embody and use this tool of a physical body, and it integrates with this information in order to survive through this multidimensional reality.
Okay. Is there more about this? Would you like to know some other questions that you have for your higher self and source?
We can move on.
Okay. So now what we'd like to do is go to a time in Geraldine's life on Earth or off Earth, it doesn't matter, where besides the situation where she was in the black water with the reptilians, let's go to another time, at any time throughout her life when she had encounters with beings. And perhaps we need to know more about the hybrid program that she is part of. So go on to move on. You can get on the cloud if you want and move away from this, but always having your higher self with you, because your higher self, and then get connected that you are one with I am, and that I am present, that you can ask anytime you want for more deeper insights. So now going back on the cloud, let me know at what age, as you move on past 23, 24, 25, or you can go the other way, 23, 22, 21. So you choose the direction you're going. Stop the elevator whenever you're ready. Just say stop. Going to 2008, 2006, 05, 03, 02, 01, 2000, you're 1999, 98, 1997, 1996, 1995, 1994, 1993, 1992,
1992.
1992. Okay, just push the button and open the elevator and walk out. So time is going to give you information that you desire. How, stepping out now, what do you see around you and how old are you?
I'm inside a ship.
Okay. And describe the ship. What does it look like? What is the colors? What is the lighting?
It's bright and it's gray.
Okay.
And there's a wall that's like purple red on the right side.
Mm-hmm.
And there's children. There's a lot of children there.
Okay.
And there's a lady. She is a strange looking being, lady.
What is her job there?
She takes care of these children.
Okay. So these children are
These are hybrids.
hybrids. Okay. And why are you in the nursery? What have you?
I am being brought in by a doctor of some sort, some man in a coat.
A man in a coat.
It's not really a man.
Human.
He's a hybrid as well.
Okay.
These children are reptilian. They are different races of alien children.
Okay.
There's a lot of them.
Okay.
And this lady, this this green-skinned being with a beak, nose, and small eyes.
Mm-hmm.
She's taking care of them.
Oh, okay. And why are they leading you here? Why are they having you come here?
I think I'm one of these children.
How old are you?
7, 8 years old.
Okay. So you're one of the children in the nursery, or are you being brought into where the children are in the nursery?
Yeah, I'm being brought in to
Okay.
meet these children.
Children. Okay.
To wait for something. We're all waiting for something.
Okay. So is there a reason why you came to meet the children and to be with them? That's for just a little time, and you'll find out.
They're gonna be doing some tests on us.
What kind of test?
They insert something in the back of our bodies, in our bottoms. They insert something there with these things that look like guns.
Okay.
This machine holds the child with the chest, from the chest, and inserts something into the child. They do it to me too.
Okay. Where is it? What is it for?
It's to help blend the DNA.
Okay.
It's to help mix, helping insertions later mix without any reaction to the body. Basically preparing the children that are part of the hybridization program.
So, what do you look like?
I look like myself as a child, but
Okay. And are there other children that look like themselves, like human or
yeah, they look half human, yes.
half human? Okay.
They look human. There's some human children here. I
Okay.
see a little boy
Okay.
clearly.
So they're having this instrument to assist with later on when is
The
this
children are given a drug to, not a drug, but they're put under some kind of a trance to just stay unconscious and completely unafraid of what's about to happen. But I'm also seeing the robot taking the children in the room and doing it to them, just holding them like little guinea pigs.
mm-hmm. Now knowing and all seeing, is this to make sure that the children survive later on, or is this for some other reason?
Yeah, well, it's so that they are able to so these children are part of the hybridization program, but it's like a different level of the hybridization program. So every person in the hybridization program has different phases.
Mm-hmm.
what that means is that through each incarnation, they transform the DNA with certain information, and then it picks up more information. Then when it's reincarnated in another body with another amount of information, these insertions that they put in the body assist them to mix and prepare the body in order to blend more DNA that they are going to be inserting through different levels and layers of information. And by information, I mean DNA, and I mean the hybridization program, the whole act of the child being inserted in the being, in each human. That provides more complex information for each being.
Is that information from other source beings, such as from other planetary origins and such?
Yes, that's correct. And each one of these children that are here in this room, they all hold a larger aspect of source essence at this cycle, at this point in the cycle.
Okay.
The lady that's in the room is artificial intelligence, and so is that man.
And so is the man. And so I'll say they're both of them artificial intelligence.
Yes.
I'd like you just to slip out of your body and go for a little flight around the ship. And tell me what you see. Can you go out of the nursery and go someplace else? Good. What are you seeing? Who's out there?
I see the machine holding the children, inserting it, and when they do, the children pass out.
Okay.
And then they're piled up in a corner. And they're distributed on beds, metal beds. And in the room next door is some kind of a lab where they have incubation tanks. And they have several fetuses growing inside the tanks. And they have machines that are working with DNA combinations.
Sort of mixing types of machines.
Yeah, they are. It's like this black and red room with these tanks filled with blood and I guess placenta,
Mm-hmm.
like different tubes of DNA.
Okay.
Um,
Now there must be someone who is in control of all these machines. Can you go to that being?
I see an empty white room. Oh my God. This empty white room is like bad things happen there. Really bad things happen there.
Okay.
It's like a triangle shaped room where the long side of the triangle ends in a hole, and there's like a door that goes in there, and I don't know, like that's like the babies are given birth to in this room. It's terrible.
The babies are given birth. In what way are they giving birth?
The the mother is put on top of some kind of a chair, some kind of a machine that holds her body, and they give birth to the child, but whatever the being is sometimes has, I guess, high levels of, I want to say, radiation, some chemical, so it's toxic, and it has to be put into, basically it's put through that like a drain type of thing, and then through a processing, I don't know, like a processing, I can see but that room is connected to a big spiral thing that goes down into another room underneath it.
And you're saying the fetus, the babies as they're born, they're put in this tube thing that goes out and goes down.
Yes. And then it's categorized, put into different sections, I guess, of the ship. I see a room with these tall beings, these tall grays, but
Okay.
they're a little bit different, these grays.
What are they? What's different about them?
They have long heads with big eyes.
What color eyes?
They're black, very shiny, very, very shiny. They look, they look like ants almost.
Are they tall?
Yeah,
How tall?
they're quite tall. I'm gonna say 10 feet.
Okay.
Yeah. And they're slender. And they are the kind of energy that I get from them is very concealed, very, you can't read their energy. They're blocked off completely. It's
Mm-hmm. Okay. Kind of void of emotions? Or do they have
yes,
void of emotions?
yes,
And they are working with the new babies. And
yes.
what are they doing with them?
These ones are just injecting things. They're just injecting something right now.
And the babies. And what did the babies go after here?
Some of them are put to sleep for a certain designated amount of time. They put them in these little oval pockets. These oval pockets.
Mm-hmm.
And they just keep them there for until they're ready.
What is till they're ready?
It looks like the blood and the combination mutates. So they need to be incubated. It's like the mixture has to be incubated.
Okay.
And it causes a chemical reaction within the body of the being. So it has to be sealed and put away during this process, kept in darkness or something like that.
Okay. And how old are these babies right now, would you say?
They're babies, they're just newly born. And some of them, these particular ones are newly born, but some of them are also fetuses.
Okay. Okay. So the newborns are in the same kind of a egg-shaped thing that the fetuses are?
Yes. The
And,
fetuses are just like in glass, round
okay.
type of containers filled with some kind of a blue liquid. Some have red, some have black liquid.
Okay. Can you see the fetuses inside, or can you see the babies inside of that? Are the babies human, or are they mixed like you saw in the nursery?
They are mixed. I see a reptilian child with a tail, with a with with like distorted facial features. And then I see another one that's a human that has like a long humanoid with a long back,
Okay.
tail, and I see another one that it looks like a round gooey substance.
Okay.
It looks like very skeletal. Like I can see the skeleton and then some kind of gooey substance around the skeleton.
Okay. Let's just go back to where the mothers do the delivery.
Yes.
Okay. Before we do, I want you to again look at the ship and see, besides these bug-like ones that are 14 feet tall, you said, do you see any other beings or ETs of any kind on the ship? Who's, let's say, who's up in the flying the ship, or who is doing the other things in the ship? Can you see? Or is it all the same kind?
No, there's different levels to the ship. And the ship operates like this is just an extension of another, like a master ship, I guess you could say, because the ship basically flies itself. It's not maneuvered with anyone.
Okay, so kind of like artificial intelligence, or
Yes, it's like it just maneuvers itself, but another object is managing this ship. So something else is like flying this ship actually.
so would that be like the larger ship, a mothership, or something?
Yes, it's like that. It's connected to something larger. And this ship has many levels to it. And yes, different beings.
Are there any beings that you would see on an
Yes.
underground military base, or are they all ET types?
I see terrible reptilians.
Mm-hmm. Long-tailed.
They're dark, tall, dark and tall. Those are the dark and tall ones.
Okay.
Tall, dark reptilians. And yes, I do see military. I see military with red berets again.
Okay.
And they're sitting
What's
on a
their job?
table.
Sitting at the table.
And the head reptilian is a reptile.
Mm-hmm. Who's in charge of the men with the red berets?
A reptile.
Reptile. And are these men with red berets, are they from Earth?
They're hybrids.
Are they some of the hybrids in the more or less like hybrid factory that you just came from?
Yes. But they're multidimensional and they're something that you call sentinels.
Okay.
They live for many, many centuries. It's basically AI, but they are made to look like humanoids because they work on different planets and different agendas. Misha, someone rang my doorbell.
Do you need to answer it?
No.
Okay. Just let that just any more ringing just kind of keeps you go deeper and deeper with every ring, every sound you hear. Just it's more relaxed and deeper and deeper, deeper and deeper, deeper and deeper, deeper and deeper, deeper and deeper. Is there more information that you can learn from this large mothership?
Yeah, I'm still there.
Okay, you want to go ahead and go to the larger mothership,
The larger mothership.
the one that's controlling the other ship that has all the levels.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay.
It's gigantic.
Okay. Where does this ship come from? What part of the galaxy, universe, or multi-universe?
It's hard to breathe here.
Okay.
It's next to a white round planet.
All knowing, all seeing. Can you get a name? Comes in.
Centauri. Alpha Centauri.
Century. Okay. Now, what are the beings like on this planet? And in this ship, I should say. And you can see both, actually, because you're out, and no one can see you, but you can see them.
They're reptilian, tall, dark reptilians.
Okay.
And a lot of military looking
Okay.
beings. A lot of dark black reptilians.
Okay.
Like dark green, strange, horrible looking. Like, I mean, just reptilian types. And there's also an area with the dinoid type of beings.
Okay. Do they get along with the other ones? Do they live in peace together?
It's not really peace per se, it's very terrible vibration, and it's hard to explain. Yes, they reside there and they work together, but their energies mesh with each other in a strange way.
Mm. Tell me how they feel about the babies on board the ship and the earthling women that give the birth to the babies. What do they think of them?
It feels like this sensation of greed and hunger. It feels um, like hunger.
Like hunger.
When they think of that, when they think of those children, they think of hunger and they think of feeding
Okay.
life force and
Okay. Is there any?
strange feeling.
Yeah, very strange feeling. Is this a place you'd like to leave now? Or is there more information you want to get?
We should see
Okay.
what they do.
Okay. Then you go right ahead. Keep watching them. What do they think of Earth in general? And how you said they're in Centurious or Centur?
Alpha Centauri.
Alpha Centauri. Okay.
Oh my gosh, it's terrible.
Did they always live in Alpha Centauri or did they come there?
They came there from the origin of source.
Came there from origin source. Okay. And
Their ship runs on this red substance that looks like blood.
okay.
And oh my god. makes me nauseous. There's this place that it's like a bubbling human body parts and blood.
Okay, so you know what their purpose is. We are, they think of us as a substance of energy and food then. Okay.
Yes.
So what is their thoughts about what they want, where they want to go? Are they, can they come to Earth? Or do they come to Earth? I mean, they have hybrid children, so they must. Do
Yeah, but
uh,
they don't, they're so powerful, they don't need to leave, like physically go anywhere. They just direct energy where it needs to go.
mm,
And of course, they have the whole concept of military comes from these beings.
okay.
Their entire civilization or their entire structure is built on military, on that kind of a structure with a with the leader and then the people, the subordinates.
Mm-hmm. Is there any kind of family structure there? Husband, wife,
No.
children? No, nothing. They're all militaristic. That's their one purpose.
Yes.
Who are their? What is their name? And what would Earth people know them by, other than reptile?
Misha,
Yes. Yes.
I
Do
feel
I,
like there's someone in my home.
someone in your home?
Okay. What was your question?
I said, what is their name? What we know them as, and not. You have mentioned that they're dark reptilians and very tall and big, but and think of us as a source of energy and food. Who are
Dracos.
draconians?
They're, they're Dracos.
They're Dracos.
Yeah.
Okay. What time is this? What's the date of this occurrence that's they're happening now with what you're seeing? Are you still 7 years old, or is this a different time?
Well, the thing is that our time is slow.
Yeah.
So technically, yes. This is the future, but also the past.
Okay. I'd like you to take a look at where Earth is right now. Find Earth.
Earth is to the left of this ship, all the way in the Milky Way galaxy.
And is Earth look like Earth, or does it have any differences to it?
It looks like Earth.
Okay. Okay. And now I'd like you to take all the way to the opposite direction and look for the Galactic Federation. The larger fleet, beings from all types. Go to where the Galactic Federation is. Can you go and see them?
The Galactic Federation inside of this universe is just a hologram.
Explain, please.
It's a hologram
It does not.
produced to mirror within this matrix illusion, but it originates from source information on some level. The Galactic Federation is a combination of hybrids of a higher vibration that work on one level up from this particular dimension.
Okay.
So in this particular dimension, they are just a hologram, but are actually operating from a dimension above.
So that would be fifth dimension? Or higher than that?
Higher than that.
Okay. And
so
they do. What is their purpose?
The universe operates in 4 directions, 7 multiplications of itself within those 4 directions. And that is operating in a circular form. It functions in a circular form, like the shape of an infinity loop.
Okay.
So Earth and the Milky Way galaxy exists in those 7 fractals of this dimension. And each one of those 7 fractals is a different level of this information.
So you're talking about alternate Earths?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And those 7 alternate Earths, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. In all these alternate Earths, is the timeline going along the same way, where there is a matrix happening, there is a control, and there is Alpha Draconians controlling?
Yes, but on different levels.
Okay.
It operates in the form of a Fibonacci sequence, where the lower vibration is closer to the core and the higher vibration is connected to source.
Okay.
And it operates in that trajectory. Each one of those sequences that goes higher up the scale of vibration is a different higher dimension. And then from the higher dimension is where the galactic so-called federation is operating. Basically, future embodiments of the same vibrations that are transmuting in this one.
Okay. So what dimension, what Earth would you say that this Earth that you and I live in, which one? 1 through 7, where are we?
We are 4 going on to the 5th.
And as we move on to the 5th, what is causing us to move on to the 5th? Is there something that is occurring in our planetary system, or in our Earth, and our dimensional energy or frequency? What is causing us?
It's the natural evolution of this creation.
Okay. So all planets must evolve.
Correct. All planets are moving through this organism.
Okay. All right. Is there more information about what you are seeing now that you want to bring out? About that?
Everything operates in 7 levels, just the way the human body has 7 bodies, 7 main chakras to operate in this matrix illusion.
Mm-hmm.
It functions in that way, just the way the energy moves through the body in order to ascend. It operates in the form of a Fibonacci sequence. curling and scaling from lowest to highest vibration. So the same way that Kundalini, so-called energy, rises from the root of our spine up to the top of our crown, the universe is moving multidimensionally in that same trajectory. All things within Source, because this is occurring within Source in its totality, operate through the trajectory of infinity, because it is an infinite cycle. It's almost as if we reside within the spine of a human, of another entity.
Hmm. Can you see what entity that is? I said we are universe. And you're seeing that we're part in the universe of a person. Is that what you're saying? Or what are you seeing?
It's almost as if we are inside of a womb and of a child inside a womb.
Hmm.
But that sequence occurs continuously.
Okay. And is there more information about this? Or what part you might be playing in it? Because as a child and as an adult, you've had contact with other energies from off planet, maybe even on planet. But what is the part that you play? What is your position? Possibly even what do you know as your awake agreement?
I am returning from the future to do work here.
Okay.
Just like a lot of us are returning from the future. I came back
Oh, what was your
from a
position?
higher vibration.
Ah, yes, a higher vibration. Yes. And what was your position in the
This embodiment,
sorry?
this embodiment of working with a council of 8
Okay. Council of Eight. Okay. You worked with,
comes from the 8th dimension.
oh, okay. I- Is that also part of what we know as the galactic? Because you said the galactic are part of a hologram.
Yes.
Explain more about that.
So the Galactic Federation is currently in a higher dimension, comes from the 12th dimension. And the 12th dimension comes back as a projection in this moment in time to continue the healing of the energy as it flows through that trajectory into the highest level. So that's why it's a hologram. So when we are working here to remember and carry out whatever agendas we have, we are working through a trajectory which has already occurred. The timeline shifts that are occurring are like a virus that operates multidimensionally within an organism. Just like you can change things from the past or in the future by doing time jumps, those alterations are being done on that level. In the future, in the very far future, the 13th dimension, reaching source, there are no more viruses. So it's within these trajectories, within these dimensions that we are operating on this virus healing session of reality.
And what is the virus again?
This virus is the duality of what source is, pulling away from the other end of source, destruction, or the lack of existence, the 0 point reality is the duality of what infinity is. And on that scale of existence, the virus originates from that 0 point existence.
Definition of the virus.
The definition of the virus?
Yeah.
The definition of the virus is the duality of source. If source is infinite, the virus is death. That therefore all things that are operating within the existence of virus or duality operate on cycles that end, which is why there is a reincarnation cycle that is consistently ending. However, since it is created within the reality of infinity, which is what all things are within this creation, those deaths occur infinitely. And it is until you leave that virus that you are continuously progressing through a death cycle.
What can we do to take us out of the virus and the death incarnation cycle and move on to our galactic or to our higher self, to source?
Every cell inside the body does its job to survive, to heal, to become whole. Every cell in our body fights virus in order to heal. In that same form, we have to heal the virus within our bodies, which is that of belief in a fear, which is that of those low vibrations.
So fear is what?
The sooner we end a cycle, leaving those programs behind, the quicker we will be going into higher dimensions of our soul evolution.
So we must take away the false fear appearing as real, though it's not, to help us understand that we need not be incarnated. We need not reincarnate again. Is that what you're saying about fear?
Fear is necessary. It's necessary to understand what fear is in order to leave that fear cycle. It is necessary to leave the reincarnation cycle by raising the vibration of each human. Raising the vibration means that you are moving through that Fibonacci sequence of evolution, leaving behind the fear virus. Fear virus is what causes all of the programming within DNA. DNA on its own is pure life force and infinite light. but it has been tainted and infected in a way with this constructed information that deviates source existence in each human, which embodies source essence. In the same way that each human has to evolve and heal itself from illness, we have to heal ourselves from this illusion.
Okay. When you talk about we must heal ourselves from the illusion, are there steps that we can take to do that?
Yes, reprogram the mind, reprogram the body, reprogram the DNA, replace programs of fear with programs of expansive love. Reprogram fear of all things into integration of all things and unity of all things. Eliminate the existence of separation within every aspect of your multidimensional self and consciousness. Integrate aspects of joy within every cell of the body, replacing the traumatic images and memories that you have since the beginning of your essence creation, since the beginning of your infection of the fear-based virus.
Mm-hmm.
You have had many lives, but they aren't so many lives as to not be able to understand and heal the body. The Galactic Federation that you know, and the councils that come from higher dimensions are coming back to remind their older selves of this truth. So just remember and focus on the work that needs to be done.
Okay. Is there any more information about the incarnation cycle? Is there information about if one was to pass, what they would see and what they should do versus what they shouldn't do when they do pass into the next? Like people always say, go to the lights, go to your family. What is the information actually?
Right before the human is about to pass, there is the fear and this emotion of helplessness, not being able to go back in time. Oftentimes, a human will realize a lot of things about their lifetime right before they cross over. At that moment, one can say that it is too late to work regressively with all of the trauma within the blood. But just the fact that the person leaves this human body filled with a high vibration assists them in not being caught up in the illusion of death. As the human is crossing over into death, they will see anything that they wish to see that it is originating from a fear-based programming. Whatever programming that they thought death would bring them is what they will project into that existence for that small moment in time. However, once that is over, the soul immediately goes through this reincarnation cycle, choosing what their next illusion is going to be like based on their past experience.
Is there a way to get out of that reincarnation?
The human has an opportunity to connect with their ancestral network and their higher vibration dimension projection of themselves if they so choose. But that information has to be prepared in them through spiritual work on the earth plane. As the human goes into death cycle, they have the option to connect with their source essence and work to raise the vibration as they come into a new. The majority of essences that are in death cycle are almost entering a phase, a drunken phase, where they are unable to connect immediately with that source essence. That is why that spiritual essence and that soul integration is important. When the soul is missing many fractals of itself, it is weakened in its ability to connect to source. That is why it is important for the soul to reintegrate as many fractals of itself within one lifetime as it possibly can.
And this will assist in getting out of the incarnation cycle by understanding the purpose of the lives, the karmic and spiritual lesson, this type of thing.
The human has a choice to connect with their higher self based on the strength of their soul, on the wholeness of their soul, of the integration of their soul. If a soul essence has not reintegrated fractals of its soul, it does not have the ability to connect to source as quickly and cleanly as others. It is important to clean the DNA from all of those fractals that were left behind, reintegrating them into wholeness before death. That way, when you reach death, your vibration is the highest possible reached within that life purpose. Then the soul enters the death cycle, where it has an option of connecting to source based on its vibration. If your vibration is low and empty and distorted within many fractals of life, you are cycling immediately and quickly through that reincarnation cycle. And yet fractals of the soul are left behind, unfinished and confused in what we now know as ghosts and spirits.
Mm-hmm.
Ghosts and spirits occur when a fractal of a soul is left behind in this lifetime with unfinished and confusion, with unfinished integrations of itself.
Meaning that their fractals, memories of lives and different times or different lives, confuse them, and they haven't cleared them and released them. Is that what you're meaning?
Right. They haven't reintegrated fractals of their soul. Every time the soul has a trauma or something that breaks the soul into pieces, whether it's on this dimension or in any other dimension, even through abuse of all these viral agendas, the soul is broken into pieces, as many pieces as possible, in order to slow down the evolution of consciousness and vibration. All of these agendas in the universe, in the existence of creation, that are causing low vibrations like pain, like suffering, like trauma, like fear, are caused to break the soul in as many fractals as possible. Each human that goes through the reincarnation cycle chooses an illusion based on their soul strength. The strength of a soul depends on the spiritual evolution that was done throughout that life. Death cycle is an amnesia, a cycle in between dimensions where viruses manage this matrix illusion caused by that existence.
And these viruses that manage this, do they have a form?
The matrix universe is created by the duality. All races between this duality, within this dimension of the duality, are here to cause these different agendas. Their form is distributed amongst each part of this universe, of this creation, by vibration. It's not so much of a form as it is a vibration, a lower vibration.
Okay. What about the new hybrids that are being born on Earth? What part do they play? Because from what I understand, they do not, this is new, they've not had the reincarnation cycle. This is their first time on Earth.
The hybridization program was created by two different ends. The evolution of the human cycle within this dimension has been slowed down to such a slow rate that it was very necessary to provide higher vibration essences in order to create a certain balance within this creation. The hybrids that come in holding vibration are mainly created by the duality, by the virus, by the matrix creation. And that is because it is a mixture of soul essence, diluting the soul essence. These hybrids are fractals of soul. That's what hybrids are. They combine DNA that hold fractals of soul in order to create even more fractals of souls. This slows down the evolution and the progression of consciousness and vibration within this dimension. That is the purpose of hybrids. There are hybrids of higher vibration, but that just means that they hold a higher soul essence.
A higher soul essence, a higher fractal point of essence would make them higher.
Correct. The galactic federations and different councils of vibration are pure essences of source. They are not fractals. That is why they are working interdimensionally. They are also given the names of different races, but they are really just one essence of infinity.
Okay.
Source doesn't need a form to exist.
So then there's a multiple hybrid program. There's the one that brings into the fractal hybrids into incarnation cycle, and then there is another source that has hybrids for what purpose?
The hybrids are not put into reincarnation cycles the way we think.
Okay.
when a person goes through the hybridization program, they are automatically hybrids that have been groomed for many eons since the beginning of their essence. Those are the hybrids that are organic, holding larger essences of source. Artificially created hybrids are brought in interdimensionally, either to assist specific agendas and to shift.
Sorry. Go on.
What did you say?
I says, and they're what is part of the virus that's entered into.
They are.
Is that what you're saying?
They are part of the hybrids.
The hybrids that are artificially made are part of the virus that's brought into the matrix, because you said it's
correct.
Okay.
Correct, because they are fractals of a soul in order to dilute that soul essence greater.
Okay.
So basically, the council and the dimensions that are higher have achieved unity and integration of soul. That's why they are closer to source. They are an integration of all souls.
Okay.
We are a tremendous separation and basically a collection of broken fractals of soul, of source, amongst many beings. That is what this dimension is about. It's about unifying source essence within ourselves and amongst the whole. That's what it means to have unity and transformation and transmutation, is purifying the information within each soul essence from virus in order to achieve integration and wholeness, which is achieved in other dimensions which are higher.
Okay. I have a specific question about a hybrid. There may be more than one, but the one I'm asking about has an essence of a fractal essence of a draconian. Do you know the child I speak of?
Yes.
Is he part of their plan of the fractal virus, or does he have a higher purpose?
All of the essences that are reincarnating in flesh have a higher purpose. Okay. Their DNA, their specific DNA that holds information, such as this child that holds draconian, is merely in order to assist his connection within direct bloodline. Direct bloodline originates within draconian lines. The very beginning essence, just the way many hybrids in this planet and experiencers originate within certain reptilian bloodlines. This child holds information in order to assist in the transformation of that information within bloodline. Any kind of karma, any kind of healing that needs to be done within that family is being done through that child. So that child needs to work in understanding that draconian essence that resides within the body, eliminating all the contractual agreements ancestrally that he holds. Children are given the opportunity to end cycles. The higher vibration provide that choice to children. The higher essence of these children provide themselves with that choice, I should say. Each child comes in through your network, which you are connected through DNA. There is one giant soul that originates bloodline. So all of you in your family are a fractal of that main soul. This child embodies a fractal of that draconian due to hybridization, which has occurred for a very long time with bloodline. So the child requires to heal all aspects within this child and the bloodlines of his families, primarily bloodline that it holds. Correct. It takes many lifetimes to clean up this draconian bloodline. It takes many lifetimes to clean up ancestral, very heavy ancestral information in the blood. As are evolving essences that are coming in, hybrid children will be holding lighter karmic cycles, draconian bloodline, multidimensionally. The children here that hold perhaps heavier contractual agreements, you are here to assist them in reminding them to clean up that DNA, to clean up those contractual agreements within that Draconian bloodline. The Draconians work off the lowest vibrations within the universe. Any kind of embodiment of this low vibration that we hold in the body, any mirror, any fractal, any kind of alteration to our human self that is hiding subconsciously this fear, is what needs to be healed and reintegrated. That has to be done through constant work. Every moment of your day has to be a conscious choice, but not just in the present moment, in the past and everything that you have experienced in this lifetime. You must heal all aspects of yourself. You have created many fractals to your own soul in this lifetime, which you are currently integrating. So you must work to integrate all of those fractals of that soul before you depart this planet. And therefore, your rising in your vibration changes the chain of DNA. Your children need to reintegrate that DNA and those fractals of their souls, and their children need to reintegrate the fractals of their souls. That is how we heal the chain cycles of DNA ancestrally.
Okay. Is this the same in most people?
Yes, it is. But we that have many, many lifetimes and connections multidimensionally are working interdimensionally with hybrid children as well. So there is a lot of fractals of the soul that must be reintegrated through trauma. The information that the blood holds is deep and heavy. We have what you can call older souls than some. We have cycled through many lifetimes, many different vibrations of life. And because of that, we have new knowledge available to us. And I guess in a way you can say are supported by those future dimensions of yourself. It gives you a greater opportunity to clean that DNA quicker.
Okay. And for Geraldine and her mission, what is Geraldine's mission that she is to do?
Geraldine needs to reintegrate the fractals of her soul Geraldine needs to teach the reintegration of these fractals of souls. Geraldine needs to speak on the topic of reintegration of soul and how the DNA is working through multidimensionally. Everything we talk and this information assists in raising the vibration of as many people so they can understand the raising of their own vibration. Working together with many different greater souls like yourself to display this information to as many people as possible is necessary.
Okay. Okay.
People must understand this information comes from the future.
Okay.
The future where this soul is reintegrated is a powerful collection of information, and all essences and all experiencers that are here on the planet in a way are connected to the same source soul essence.
Any questions you'd like, Geraldine would like to ask her higher self?
Science is merging little by little. The information is being given out in a very slow pace. It's our job to assist in delivering this information in as many ways as possible. We believe that we are outnumbered by the scientific community, but the scientific community already understands on their end very well this information on some level.
In the physics level, in the physics.
In the physics level.
Mm-hmm.
The duality has worked very carefully and is working even more powerfully to put limitations on the amount of information that is coming out. It is important that we work powerfully and tirelessly to make sure that this information gets out clearly and loudly to as many people as possible. It is important that we ensure that people are listening, and the only way that we can deliver this information in a way where people will understand is by delivering it from the highest connection to our source that we possibly can, so that we can channel truth in a clear and concise manner.
Mm-hmm.
Educating each other as much as possible is very important. Each person has a responsibility to themselves to understand what they are and what they are made of. And it is only ignorance and fear that allows people to not focus on the research of themselves. It is through the research within the physical body and the mind that one finds a connection to source, and one finds the infinite fountains of information to the universe. The more people that experience this and speak about their experiences, the more understanding there will be on a greater scale that is undeniable and that they can try to conflict with.
Can you provide this kind of platform for Geraldine so that she can disseminate this very important information?
Geraldine is capable of doing it, but there is a darkness that is limiting her ability to expand at the moment. We will assist in helping open those channels.
Okay. Is there anyone else that can help with that, or is she able to do it by herself with you?
Geraldine is afraid to ask for help. But yes, she does need support in this project, as it is very big.
It is very big, yes it is.
But she will do it.
Good. Well, I'm sure that if she asks, the support will be there for her, whoever she needs it from. Knowing that all is in divine order. And this very big mission that she's partaking in is going to be completely assisted by her higher self, her galactic, her connection to source.
Yes.
Would this be everything that Geraldine wants to know today and talk hear about?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So what I'd like you to do is now pay attention to your breathing, Geraldine. And you're stepping and walking back into the elevator.